evolution is not as depressing as it sounds. And the reason, okay, here's why evolution sounds so depressing, is because the people that have told you the evolution story are atheists, okay? You've heard this very slanted version that has a very particular agenda, okay? And it's the atheist agenda, okay? So it's like, think of one of those like sepia colored photographs, okay? It's like everything you've heard about evolution is sepia toned. What would happen if you actually saw it in true color, okay? And so it's like, well, it's just so many billiard balls banging around the universe, and there's so many DNA copying errors, and occasionally some of them are better, and things just kind of accidentally and without any purpose, plan, or intention get better and better and better, which is terrible science. Nothing just gets better and better and better all by itself. Doesn't matter how much natural selection you have. What's really going on is a level of engineering in the cell that is breathtaking. It is beyond anything we know how to do in software or engineering or anywhere, okay? Cells are absolutely amazing. In fact, what I wouldn't give to shrink myself down like 1,000,000 times and get a 24-hour guided tour of the inside of the cell and actually watch what is going on. Because if you could see that, like a cell is as complicated as New York City, but New York City is dirty, messy, chaotic, and I don't think what goes on in a cell is dirty or messy or chaotic. Does it have messes to clean up? Does it have spills to clean up? Does it have waste to get rid of? Sure, but it all happens way more orderly than anything that humans have ever engineered. Okay, and the fact is that cells have the ability to re-engineer themselves. Re-engineer their own DNA. Okay, so the DNA has the plan that builds the cell, but then the cell changes the DNA and changes the plan and re-engineers itself and the next generation. How does that work? I mean, it's almost M.C. Escher-like. But the fact is, this is exactly what goes on, and we know that this goes on. There's decades and decades of research that shows what goes on, how bacteria change their expression of DNA, rearrange their DNA, change their role in a colony, change what they do, change the chemicals they secrete, change the chemicals they digest. We know how to create new species. We know very specific things we can do, and it's awe-inspiring. Now, there still is, at the end of the day, the fact that it's a competition, okay? And that there's a few winners and a lot of losers. That's a fact. That's the 80-20 principle. That's, I don't make up the rules. I just tell you what they are, okay? And nature is ferociously competitive. But you have to look at why is nature ferociously competitive. That ferocity is programmed in, and it has developed over time, okay? And it makes a really beautiful, amazing world. If it wasn't a beautiful, amazing world, we wouldn't be watching, the Nature Channel or whatever, and watching the tigers hunt the zebras or what have you, right? It's, you might not like watching the thing get eaten or whatever, but the whole process is nevertheless amazing, right? And so, but what it does is it presents us with a question of being humans with the awareness that we have and the desire that we have to create a great society. We want to take care of the sick and we want to take care of the poor. Obviously, our moral awareness gives us questions that evolution can't answer. Well, so are we going to look for answers to those questions, or are we just going to go in denial and say there are no answers and we can just act like adolescents and do whatever we want? Or that, some of us are, we're all equal, but some of us are more equal than others, because that's really what you always end up with.